And today, the Georgia Supreme Court removed a Douglas County judge arrested outside of a Buckhead lounge.
I don't know what's going on down there in Atlanta area, but good Lord. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to It's Culture Podcast. My name is Mark, and I'm your host of It's Culture Podcast, where culture meets courage. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We got an excited one out of Atlanta area tonight. I don't know if y'all been following this story about the judges down there in Atlanta, and maybe I should have, on my channel, perhaps I should have spoken about this earlier, but it seems that the judicial system down there got problem with the judges, not the actual people who are actually they supposed to be, presiding over cases on. The judges are getting cases themselves. So we're gonna just talk about that tonight. If you could do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can get all the updates. And as I say on all my shows, thank you all so much for those who continue to subscribe and help to continue to grow Culture Nation into something great. And I appreciate all the comments and the feedback, and I read those things and I try to respond to everybody. So I really appreciate you all for engaging with me in this dialogue. But let's get into it. So another judge, no, this is not Judge Glanville, but this is another judge down in Atlanta. And this past weekend, last week, she got into an altercation that was caught like all on tape. The whole body cam footage it's about 2 hours long of the body cam footage for her and her arrest. But she's not in trouble for that. Not just yet. She still got to go see the judge about that. But today, the Georgia Supreme Court decided to do something in regards to her. And if you don't know who I'm talking about Douglas County Judge Christina Peterson. Now, Christina Peterson, she's a judge in Douglas County, Georgia, which is a suburb of Atlanta. She's been in office for a couple of years. She just came up for re-election. But due to her ethics violations and all these allegations against her, because this is not something new, she's been under investigation for a while now. The residents of Douglas County decided they didn't want her no more. Back during the primary, she got ousted in the primary. So she's kind of in her lame duck part of her tenure. She's out of office in January. So this is based on what she did while she was the judge. Now, I don't know if they're going to try to disbar her or not, but let's take a listen to the video to see what happened. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
In an 80-page decision, the Georgia Supreme Court laid out 28 counts of misconduct and 30 alleged violations for former Douglas County probate judge Christina Peterson.
28 ethics violations and 30 other complaints? What? Okay. Alrighty then.
Those violations include improper conduct toward county officials. Said in part, quote, "I'm pleased that we were able to provide her with a vigorous defense in court, getting numerous counts dismissed and fighting off 2 motions for interim suspension, even though today we lost the ultimate battle."
Okay. The attorney's like, hey, we did the best job we could. We got some of the stuff taken away. Like 80 pages though. Like there had to be a lot of stuff in there for them to come up with 80 pages worth of documents to get her out of office. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. you don't have that many charges against you if you're not doing something wrong. I mean, 1 or 2 violations, okay, we can say that they might be targeting her. But an 80-page document full, come on now.
On social media, Peterson posted this. Douglasville residents tell me she's earned her consequences, especially after the body camera footage of her arrest.
Now, look at this video. Body cam footage of her being arrested. If y'all haven't seen that yet, just go Google it. It's 2 hours worth of straight up ratchetness from a judge.
Do your job the right way. 28 violation, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Senior Judge John McClain will likely appoint a retired judge to keep the courts running until Peterson's term ends in December. In Douglas County, Teresa Bowles, 11 Alive News.
Okay, there we have it. Once again, another politician, another one, has done it. I don't know what else to say, y'all. Every week, I'm finding more and more information, more and more stuff coming out of Atlanta. That area, when it comes to politics, and it's always us, ain't nobody else getting in trouble. We've had Fonnie Willis and her affair. You got the judge that's presiding over the Young Thug case. You got the commissioner with her allegations of, stalking, and the city of Atlanta having to pay out $1 million to her chief of staff for her affair with him. What else? What else, Atlanta? What are y'all going to do as far as y'all politics? Because the way y'all voting right now, it's doing your city and your area, the entire metro area, it's not doing it a good job. It is too much corruption in that area. And before long, y'all going to have some people down there poking and prodding around, going to start exposing a lot more stuff that's going on in the city of Atlanta right now. Let's be clear. This is the stuff that's coming out. There's always been things that's been said about what's going on down in Atlanta, especially when it comes to politics. And we just seeing it play out on the news now. It's being broadcast to the world because of social media. So we got to start asking ourselves, man, like, what are we going to do when it comes to voting? You can't keep voting for skin color people just because they black and you think that they deserve a shot. Y'all got to start voting for the people that's going to get the job done. And stop voting based on emotions. Because this ain't getting us nowhere. And I say this very, very clear because we always talk about DE&I and stuff. This is how they get rid of programs. Because they start showing stuff like this. And they start saying, oh, that's a DEI hire. That's a DEI hire. And we ain't going to be able to say anything to defend this stuff because it's looking like DE&I hires. Like, these people weren't even qualified. They just got the job because they was black. And we know that. We know that's not the case. Christina Peterson was voted in by the constituents in Douglas County. And she's already came out and said some things. She did some interviews a while ago. She said she was never supported as being the first black woman to be elected to the bench in Douglas County. So we knew that stuff. Like, listen, if you're still on that first black stuff, like, that's so tired and so played now because that ain't getting us nowhere. Judge, you knew what you was doing while you were in office. It's not a setup. You know what I'm saying? You did this stuff. And instead of taking accountability and ownership for what you've done, you playing the victim. But there's 80 pages worth of stuff that you done while you was on the bench, and there's a 2-hour video showing your true character. So ain't too much you can say about somebody's trying to set you up and stuff. No, you did this to yourself. All right? Accountability is something that we lack a lot of in the black community. We want to play victim all the time, but we don't want to take accountability for our own actions. So, Judge, I'm going to need you to take accountability for your actions. You probably come off more genuine that way instead of playing the victim role. But y'all let me know what y'all think, right? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Coach Nation, until next time, keep it coaching.